Welcome to Warhammer Warscroll Review. In this video, we're taking a look at the Thunderscorn leader model, the Dragon Ogor Shaggoth.
Warscroll Review.
The Dragon Ogor Shaggoth will be the next stop on the Beasts of Chaos bus, and boy is he beautiful. Similar stats to our previous Warscroll review, the Dragon Ogors. With the same AH movement, it's not bad for monstrous cavalry, but a tad slow for a monster. Defensively, the model has 10 wounds and a 4-up save. Offensively, this model has 3 weapons. Its taloned forelimbs are 2 Ren 1 attacks, and the sweeping tail is D3 attacks at a 3-inch range. The forelimbs and tail really come after the main attraction, the Storm Wrought Axe. Only 3 attacks, but they do hit and wound on 3s, with Ren 1 and damage 3. By itself, the axe is likely only getting 1 attack through completely. So while that damage is scary, it isn't as deadly as it appears at first. The Shaggoth has a unique special ability called Beneath the Tempest. In the event of a tie on the roll for initiative, you can roll a die for each Thunderscorn unit, and on a 4-up they heal D3 wounds. D3 wounds is great, but this is really unreliable. The Dragon Ogor Shaggoth is also a wizard and casts 1 spell a turn. The Warscroll includes its own unique spell called Summon Lightning. The spell would also heal a Thunderscorn unit D3 wounds. Not only that, but the unit can reroll failed wound rolls, making nearby Dragon Ogors, or even the Shaggoth himself, fairly deadly. The Dragon Ogor Shaggoth is a leader model and costs but 180 points. Now that's kind of a lot for a support character, but he is somewhat durable and can deal a bit of damage at the same time. Even though he can be a big brute, the Dragon Ogor Shaggoth is best spending his time screened by other models. Don't let the Shaggoth get in combat by itself, as most enemies will be able to take it down alone. Shaggoths act as great support characters. Dragon Ogors come with an ability that allows them to reroll hit rolls of 1 when within 12 inches of a friendly Shaggoth. Paired with the character's unique spell, the unit would be able to reroll all wound rolls as well as hit rolls of 1. In a Beast of Chaos army, the Shaggoth would become an even bigger force multiplier, but it would also directly benefit our character model. Creatures of the Storm allows Thunderscorn models to move D6 inches at the start of the hero phase, or to just give the model a movement boost. Aside from the great phrase, there is really only a couple command traits I'd recommend taking. Ancient Beyond Knowledge is the first noteworthy command trait. The Alpha Beast adds D3 command points at the start of the first battle round. This is pretty neat for an army that really revolves around command abilities, but will feel pretty underwhelming when you roll that 1. Father of the Storm seems to be the better option, at least when taking other Thunderscorn models. This one allows the player to reroll the Creatures of the Storm move roll in the hero phase. Not bad for keeping those Dragon Ogors moving as fast as lightning. Beasts of Chaos tote some neat artifacts as well. Tanglehorn Familiars is a tricky one. One use only, but can be used to keep a wizard within 12 inches of the bearer from casting. Use this after moving the enemy's face to stop that Gaunt Summoner from casting. Not exactly sure on this wording, but it sounds like it would even stop a Slan Starmaster from generating conjuration points, which would really make a Seraphon player mad. Let me know in the comments what you think. The Shaggoth is pretty expensive to run in 12 inches from enemy wizards just to shut them down for a phase, so use this ability wisely. The enemy will be very tempted to kill this guy as soon as possible because of all the support abilities he grants. The next important Beast of Chaos artifact is the Horn of the Tempest. This item allows the Thunderscorn wholly within 18 inches to run and charge, making the Thunderscorn extremely quick. Dipping into the malign sorcery artifacts, the combos just keep coming. Paired with Ancient Beyond Knowledge, the Aether Quartz Brooch would allow the Shaggoth to pump out a ton of command points. In a CP heavy list, this is probably the best the Beast of Chaos can do. An artifact from Gairan would also have the benefit of pairing with the Shaggoth's ability to heal Thunderscorn models. The Wand of Restoration could be used to heal an additional wound with Summon Lightning. D3+1 wounds back to a large unit of Dragon Ogors is demoralizing to face. There are a lot of other combos, but nothing that specifically synergizes with the Shaggoth's abilities. Gerstrike is always a good relic if you want your character running in for a fight, and would make the model hit and wound on 2s, which is pretty deadly. Beasts of Chaos Battle Tome even gave Dragon Ogor Shaggoth their own spell lore. 2 of these spells are pretty useful. Hailstorm has a range of 21 inches and halves the move, run, and charge rolls for a unit, really hampering combat units. Getting hit with this first turn would be devastating. In case you're deployed 24 inches from your opponent, you could use Creatures of the Storm to move in range in the hero phase, before you cast Hailstorm. The other spell to mention is Sundering Blades. This one is a support spell that would increase the rend characteristic of a target's melee weapons. This is best served to the Dragon Ogors, but if you did take Gerstrike or some other relic that makes you want to pound your opponent's face in, cast Sundering Blades on the Shaggoth. Brayherds even have a couple helpful spells in their lore. Tendrils of Atrophy would pair well with Sundering Blades. This one would lower the opponent's saving rolls by 1. Paired with Dragon Ogors enhanced by Sundering Blades, the models would effectively be Rend 3, and would be tearing apart almost every armor save. The other important spell is Titanic Fury. When going the melee route with the Shaggoth, adding this spell would make the monster truly scary. The model will be pumping out 8 plus D3 attacks that are mostly Rend 2. Using one of the Great Phrase is another way to increase your use out of the Shaggoth. The All Herd is the first to mention. The phrase command ability, Booming Roar, may be the reason you are loading up on command points as previously hinted at. Use this to trade a command point for a primordial call point, which are the Beasts of Chaos summoning resource. With the Aether Quartz Brooch, some of the command points used could even be reused for more primordial points. Start out with enough points tied up in Warscroll battalions and additional command points, and you could fix it so you'd be reliably summoning Skyfires on the second turn. Darkwalkers is a second Great Fray and would have a unique effect on the Thunderscorn. This one would allow them to use the ambush special rule normally reserved to the Brayherds. This would be kinda cool, I suppose, if the opponent left a wizard near one of the edges, and you could use Tanglehorn Familiars to shut down their spells, but this would also be helpful in just deploying a strike force at Dragon Ogors with Shaggoth right to the enemy. Gavespawn is the last Great Fray, and would probably have the greatest personal benefit for the Shaggoth. The Fray's command ability is called Propagator of Devolution, and adds 1 to the attacks for a unit within 12 inches of a Chaos spawn. It's used in the combat phase, and can be used multiple times. Again, maybe a time where you spam command points. Use this on the Shaggoth once or twice, maybe with Titanic Fury and Sundering Blades, and the monster will be putting out a ton of damage. Not only this, but the Fray's artifact, Mutating Gnarlblade, would increase damage by 2. So with all the abilities mentioned, we're looking at 5 attacks that are Rend 2, damage 5. Not to mention the 6 plus D3 other attacks. You can keep using Propagator of Devolution for more attacks, but that would almost certainly ensure your demise, as each hit of 1 gives the bearer of the Gnarlblade a mortal wound. This is kind of a suicide mission for the Shaggoth, but would be awesome to see. And that's great because on a 2-up, because of the Gavespawn's additional ability, the Shaggoth would turn into a Chaos spawn when he dies. In all, the Dragon Ogor Shaggoth works best in a Beasts of Chaos army, but does fit outside of its subfaction, meaning it really doesn't need other Thunderscorn units to be useful. Normally, taking Father of the Storm and Horn of the Tempest is the best when supporting units of Dragon Ogors. But the model can also be a command point fiend with Ancient Beyond Knowledge and Aether Quartz Brooch. If you are inclined to go offensive with your Shaggoth, the Suicide Gavespawn Gnarlblade build would probably do the trick. Overall, the Dragon Ogor Shaggoth receives a 4 out of 5. It can be part of a ton of synergies, but still operates fine as a support character even without all the extra allegiance frills. What do you think of the Dragon Ogor Shaggoth? What Warscrolls would you like to see reviewed next on the channel? Leave your answers, suggestions, and questions in the comments below, and thanks for watching.